Hey there YouTube, welcome back to the channel. My name is Larry, and today we are looking at the final figure in Super 7's Wave 3 of ThunderCats Ultimates. This is Captain Cracker, and here you see the Mumra insignia on the front and that beautiful red foil. Ultimates on the top of the box. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, turn it around, you can see the ThunderCats written right there. There you go. I'm going to look at the bottom of the box. You see the choking hazard may contain small parts. It's all collectible, not a toy. Warner Brothers mark, and we'll take the slip cover off. And there he is, Captain Cracker. And now, this one's a bit different, so I don't think we've gotten one of him before, so we're going to open him up and see what we have. But before that, I don't want to forget this, the back. I always forget to do this. I done it with Jaga, forgot the back. Almost forgot it with this guy. So now we're going to crack him open and pull everything out and see what we got. As we can see here, all of his accessories. He doesn't have a whole lot, but he's got an extra head, 2 extra pair of hands. We're going to go ahead and start looking at his articulation and his detail work. Very well painted. I love the detail on the back of the vest. You can see this head go side to side, up and down. His neck is at a bit of an angle, but he moves real well. Arms move open up from side to side, up and down. It's a little tight on my guy. You got a bicep swivel. You can call that a bicep. You got a single jointed elbow. Yeah, and you got the swivel at the wrist and a hinge at the wrist, which is really tight on this one. There he goes. Yep. As you can see, now you got your ab crunch, and there is a waist swivel. And I love how the shirt is slightly over it, which really kind of ties that joint. You got your ball joint at the hip, hinge, and the crotch area has got a bit of a softer plastic, really pliable as you can see. Bends real well with it, so it doesn't hinder too much of the articulation. You have a single jointed knee, and of course he has a peg leg, so there's no articulation on the foot. So as we can see, no boot cut, but got a little bit of a rock on his left foot, and not too much of a tilt. Paintwork on him is overall. Now this little peg hole here is for the parrot. Is a robot parrot. Name escapes me. I need to look that all up. But you just plug this in. I'm having trouble here trying to get it in, because it's really hard to do while trying to film on camera. But there it is. And both of the versions of his parrot will plug into it just fine. Just one thing to note though, not going to be able to really move the arm up and down too much with the parrot on his shoulder like that, but it's still working nonetheless. Now, go ahead, try to get him to stand back up. See, very difficult with that peg leg without that extra little bit of stability, which I think is going to hinder the posability quite a bit. So we're going to go ahead and look at his second head. The first head's got Mirror of a Sneer. This one's got a more of a surprise look on the eye. But the mouth is closed, so you don't see any of his teeth. But very well painted. Now, we'll look at his cutlass here, which is only no paint on it at all. It's just molded in that gray kind of silver plastic. So it's like probably one of the least detailed weapons I think we've gotten in this line so far. And now you've got his little dagger here. Now, caution though, this dagger is really sharp, so be careful when putting it in to the scabbard that's on his belt. When you pull it out, it gets a little tight. And I pricked my finger right here, and actually a little bit of blood did end up coming out. As you can see right there, it's kind of wanting to come out there, so be careful with that. Now he has also this double-sided wrench. which is also molded in that same gray plastic as the cutlass. So it's very minimal detail. So you can make him look like he's working on something, maybe his arm or his peg leg. And here's his gripping hands. Now he got his right hand for his weapon, and the left one kind of semi-open. Which we'll see what that is here in a minute. But we're going to try to get the cutlass in here. And like my experience so far with the Super 7 Ultimate figures, their hands are really tight right out of the box. So you are going to have to work with them a bit to get the weapons in. As you can see, I'm struggling quite a bit here. Having to kind of pull on it, the fingers out a little bit just to get it in his hand. Now, the dagger is going to be a lot easier to do because it doesn't have the guard on it. But just trying to get it through and not bend that thumb inward, because I'm always afraid I'm going to end up snapping that little bit of plastic. It is really thick. And I really don't want to chip the paint at all. But here we go. Finally got it in his hand. We'll go ahead and swap that out, because he already comes with his fist already installed. Put that on there. And there you go. You can get some nice attacking poses. With that, we're going to take off his other and put his other gripping hand on, which I believe is for him to be holding the wrench, because it's really the only accessory that makes sense to go into his hand. Let's see. It kind of holds it loosely, but it stays in there pretty good. And it makes more sense, I guess, if you have him look like he's working on something. But there you go. Trouble trying to get him to stand because that peg leg. And then you got these interesting open hands. I mean, I guess you could look like he's trying to carry something maybe with them. I don't know. And we'll go take a closer look at one of the parrots here. Very nicely detailed. No articulation, obviously, on this one. But the paintwork is really nice. I love the metallic sheen on it. On the gunmetal gray. There's a little bit of metallic on the orange as well. Same with his standard perch version. Silver and the gunmetal is really nicely done. But all in all, this is a really nicely done figure. And this guy, final thoughts is that he looks just like he came from the cartoon, but he's really hard to stand. You're not going to get a lot of extra posability out of him. But he's a really nice figure to have in your collection if you're going to be a completionist, and he works real well with the animation style. Thanks for watching. If you like what you see here, please like and subscribe. Comment below what you would like to see next. Any kind of new ideas for shows. Love to hear your ideas. Until next time, later.